Yo, what's going on, Guardians? Warside here with another video. So, this is the topic of the video today. We're going to talk about, are bows going to be competitive in trials? That's the question I've been asking myself for a long time, and if any of you know me well, you'll know that I'm an avid bow user. I played a bunch of games of elimination, and due to skill-based matchmaking, the results were pretty mixed, to be honest. So I had a lot of success, but obviously maining a bow in elimination and trials has its drawbacks, which you'll see within this game of elimination I have rolling in the background. Let me start off by saying that this video is more based for skilled bow users, not your average bow user. I'd also recommend using Oath Keepers with Monarque, which means you have to be a hunter to make this work. Because I don't see other bows being competitive at all versus Revoker and Beloved. I had so many issues peeking lanes, and that's what you're going to be doing. You're going to be challenging lanes that snipers occupy. And with Revoker, if they miss a shot, they can just keep firing all day. They're going to play passive until they get a pick, and then they'll move up with their team. That's what most trials teams are going to be like. That's what you can expect. So as a bow user, you have to be skilled enough to get the first shot on them every time and lower their morale, make them cower, so your team can gain map control. That's the goal here with the bow. That's how I won all my games. And if you want to win your games in trials using a bow, if you decide to use this build I'm running, you have to be extremely aggressive with it. So let's talk about what I had issues with. So the first big issue with running a bow is if you're playing with players that aren't team oriented, that don't really follow instructions, that just run out on their own and get picked, bow is not it's not the option. So if you're deciding to play with your friends and you got that one friend that plays trials like it's, you know, quick play or classic mix or whatever, you're gonna have a bad time with this bow. So don't use it. So issue number 2 would definitely be super aggressive teams. I'm talking 3 spare rations, 3 mind benders. They all ape together. They're overwhelming and they will smother you if you're using a bow. It's just hard when people are just aggressing on you and your team isn't that good, because that happened to me a lot. I played 3 stacks, and while I was using a bow, it was extremely hard. Keep in mind, I forgot to mention this, I played all these games solo. I had no team, so I wanted to see what would happen if I played with, you know, players that weren't as good, and see if I could somehow make this work. And most of the time I did, but a lot of the times it was ugly and really, really bad. Issue number 3 is definitely something that really was getting on my nerves. It's when you down somebody or your team down somebody, controlling that orb. It's extremely hard controlling a down player with a bow. And if you're like the last Guardian standing, which I have a clip here, I was trying to kill this guy and I just didn't have, I couldn't finish him off. I could not finish this guy off to save my life. And I did know one thing: when you bow somebody with Monarque and the burn, I mean, this goes for any burn actually. Any burn at all. It stops them from being able to revive. It stops them from being able... anything that requires to hold X or hold whatever button you have to revive or grab weapons off the wall, you know, stuff like that. They can't do it when they're burning. So Monarque does that really well, and I was utilizing that. I know that as a fact. And sometimes you miss a shot when you're panicking in Last Guardian Standing, and when you miss that shot, it hurts. And they will punish you, and they will get that revive. And what are you going to do then? Absolutely nothing. That's what's going to happen. So, like I said, those 3 issues were the biggest issues I had. Surprisingly, I had no issues whatsoever against snipers. I had very rarely was I getting, like, sniped. I got sniped very little. The issues I had were with aggressive players. So, ultimately, I believe that you could have a bow player on your team, as long as they're running a similar setup to mine. Like, they have a way to be aggressive. They can't just sit there and lane with the bow nonstop. If your team can aggress with a bow user, you'll be fine. So I would say a bow shotgun player, a sniper with a sidearm, and a dedicated hand cannon shotgun player. That would be freaking insane, honestly. That'd be crazy. So Monarque does enough damage, like if any other primary even touches them, even a single shot from an auto rifle, Monarque will kill them. Every single time. If you get the headshot, that is. So Monarque definitely, like, it lets you track behind walls, obviously, because it burns them. It does so much. It has such a strong neutral game that keeps players guessing. It makes snipers regret they peeked the lane, and you can completely control lanes with this. And, like, you'll see that within this clip. I'm controlling lanes like crazy. And that's something you can do, too, if you run this build. Like, seriously. I'm not kidding when I say this. Like, it's competitive if you know how to use a bow. If you're not good with bows, I wouldn't recommend learning this because you only have, what, a couple days before Trials comes out. So it might be a little too late for you unless you want to wait and practice this build until Trials, like, you know, dies down the second, third week. That'll be fine, but I would not switch and try and use a bow this weekend. You don't have enough time unless you play, like, 15 hours a day or something like that. I know you guys are dying to see this game end, but I'll spoil it for you. We lose the game 5-4. And that's because we lost our teammate when we were up 3-0. It's really hard to win a game with a bow and a shotgun by yourself. And my teammate wasn't very good, if you can't tell. So it sucks, but it happens. Anyways, those were my findings. I hope you guys found this informational. I just want everyone to know that you can have a bow user on your team and you can be extremely dominant with it. But you have to be a hunter. You can't be a titan or a warlock. Like, I mean, I'm sure you can play well, but I don't think you're going to win most of your games like that. Not against good teams. What I have here is a build that can compete at the highest level. And like I said, I'm not trying to brag or anything, but I have almost a 3.0 KD. This is the epitome of sweat, is what I'm playing in. And I'm still competing with these guys. I have many other clips as well that I'm competing with guys that are above my KD even, that are on 3 stacks, and I'm by myself. My teammates quit, and I'm still hanging with them. I lose, obviously, but I'm still hanging in, you know. But I hope you guys learned something, and I'll catch you guys next video.